All right, welcome everybody. This is the first Heat Team call after conference. And I know if you're like me, and I know I am, then you have had a shift from conference. And we're hoping that that shift isn't just going to last a day or two, but you're going to take the important pieces from conference and implement them as quickly and as soon as you can. And I'm going to give you one little quick example of something that I'm already implementing. I'm so excited about this one line. It's just got me going nuts. Ashley Hudson, when somebody says to her, this is what you guys missed, oh my gosh. So think about this. How many times, raise your hand if somebody questions you because there's soy, oh my God, in our complete. And what do we usually do? We defend it. We describe why soy is okay. We're going to send them the science. I love what Ashley Hudson said. She said, is there soy in it? Oh my God, that's why I take it. All the new science shows that it's really good if you've had breast cancer. It's good for keeping you from getting breast cancer a second time. It's really good for you ever getting breast cancer. There's so much new science on it, especially if it's water washed, and ours is. That's why I take it. So I'm already implementing. Somebody asks me about soy, and man, I am right on it. So I'm going to offer that up to all of you to think about what you heard and how you're going to implement it. So we're going to start with Lisa. And yeah, is that okay, Lisa? Are you ready? Cool. So you're going to unmute yourself. We had a great guy from Australia who not only talked at the NMD meeting, but did a separate and completely different talk, which was so exciting for the whole conference. And he's a motivational speaker. And I'm going to turn this over to you, Lisa. He was awesome. Awesome.
He was awesome. I really, really liked him. I liked him a lot in the NMD meeting, and I knew that we were in for a treat. And I actually, oh shoot, I have it. He actually gave the NMDs his book. It's called Focus. And I really encourage everyone invest in this book because it's not just a book that you read. It's a book that you're going to work on. And I'm like almost done. And it's really, really, really good. So he said a lot, but some of the things that stood out to me is that we are worthy and deserving and capable of living our dreams. And, you know, we've heard that so many times in so many different ways, but when he said worthy, deserving, and capable, the capable for me really stuck out because I think people think that they're just not capable, that they just can't do it. He talked about, and we know that this is true, when the why is clear, then the how is easy. But he said it also in a different way. He said clarity plus confidence plus certainty plus consistency. And I know that for myself and for people on my team, when I am clear about what I want, I'm consistent. I'm consistent with my activities. So in the conference, he had us list out, and I really, really, really hope that everybody does this. He had us list out, it's him, Donna, he's the author, Keith Abraham, he's the author. He had us list out 100 of our lifetime goals, and he actually categorized it down from like where we, you know, what Olympic Games would you like to go to? What places would you like to travel? And he said, oh, I'm going to find this. He listed out that if you do this, I'm going back and forth between notes. In 3 years, if you write this out, you're going to achieve 42 of those goals. Okay. And in 5 years, you'll achieve 71 of them. So write them down, like just write them down. And so he had us do that, and he had us share. And then of course he had us break it down. You know, what are you going to do in the next 12 months? Like, what are you going to focus on? And that's what his book really helps you do. It helps you focus on what you want, your lifetime goals. And then what are you going to focus on for the next 12 months? And then of course, what are you going to focus on from now until Austin? He actually gave us a link. And when I'm done talking, I'll type it in. It's specifically some tools for us as Juice Plus people. I just downloaded it today, and I'm super psyched to dive in because even though I know for a lot of you guys, there's a lot of goal setting worksheets and we have a lot of this stuff. I don't know. You just never know when somebody fresh comes along and asks you to do it in a different way. the difference that it'll make for you. And then lastly, I'll just leave you guys with this. He really challenged the NMDs with this. He said, what's your impossible? You know, what would it be impossible for you to do? Like for me, it would be like double my income in less than a year. Then, you know, why aren't you going for it? You know, have 5 new NMDs by Austin. What's your impossible? You know, if you're a brand new sales coordinator, most people are going to tell you it's impossible to be an NMD by Austin. You know, why wouldn't you just go for it? Like most everybody flew home eventually. Heard there was a lot of debacles. Most everybody, unless you live in Sacramento, flew home. You know, it wasn't that long ago, you guys, in this lifetime that was impossible. It was impossible to fly an airplane. Impossible. So what's your impossible? I'm going to turn it back to Nikki.
Lisa, I love that. I'd kind of forgotten. I was impressed with the what's your impossible as well. And I just want to share, Jim Rohn years ago said to make your list of 100 on your bucket list. And Jim Rohn was at one of our conferences one year. And Chris went up to Jim with his 100 things on a bucket list written out in his journal like Jim Rohn had told us to do. And he stuck out his hand and he shook Jim Rohn's hand and he opened up his journal and like number 10 down the journal said, shake hands with Jim Rohn. And he looked at Jim Rohn and he crossed it off and he said, crossed it off.
Got it.
It was got it. No, he said, got it. Is that like, how cool is that?
It's amazing.
You know, who knew he was going to shake hands with our hero, right? That was so cool.
Awesome.
So I wanted to share that story. Write it down. The link, you know, we've also, Michael, I think, posted on our Voxer chat. You can get to the link from Keith Abraham with his worksheets and everything. So we're now going to hear from NMD Sandy Abrams-Tabola, and she's going to be sharing on something really good. Let's see on my list. She's going to be sharing, this was fabulous. Jill Herman knocked it out of the park on leadership. Really did. So Sandy, just a few nuggets and then how you're going to implement those nuggets.
Sounds good. Well, first I wanted to say that what I kept hearing throughout conference is simplicity. And you're going to be hearing how the company is working to make everything more simple for us. They will just keep doing that. And I love that. And then not just simplicity, but sense of urgency. I just kept hearing about, and I think it was Ashley Hudson that said, know that everyone is facing a battle that you don't know about. And that we have a gift. We have something for them. And what I loved about Jill is she tied everything up in a bow and just said, you know, it's all about in leadership, in influencing lives, 90% of it is mindset. And only 10% is skills. We can teach and learn the skills pretty easy. Mindset is what takes we will always be working on mindset, right? And personal growth. And she said, new level. So you get a promotion, right? New level, new devil. So we will always be working on that. And she says that when people feel stuck, a lot of times it's because of their head trash or complacency, or they're managing versus leading and working without boundaries. So she kind of addressed each of those, but I'm just going to hit on them that every day is garbage day. Every day we need to take out the trash and get our heads right. Start the morning and get our heads right. And also keep working on that personal growth. And the Brave Leaders program, it is a great reason to express track to sales coordinator if you haven't, because once you do, you are able to go through the Brave Leaders. And it's just amazing. It's a great head start towards personal development. And then reading. And then everything you get your hands on. I agree that this focus is a great book to get. And then hanging with positive people. I really love the twist that she had here. She says, like attracts like. So if you have a lot of head trash and you're not taking care of that, that will attract other people with head trash. We don't want to do that, right? So hang with positive people and make sure that your circle will call you out on your stuff that you need to be working on. And she said it's so great to just start over. I mean, if you're brand new, you're starting fresh, right? Write and rewrite your stories. Or if you're not new and you're starting over, rewrite your stories and your why. And she talked about Freedom Revolution being the best way to go through all of that, a great way to get started or restart and sponsor new people. Go through the numbers. Your team will follow you. And I love this. If we are the best example for our team to follow, she says that builds kind of a sense of healthy competition. And then healthy boundaries and the team culture. Just two more things. The 3 team mantras that they have, and I really like these. 1, if you are a blessing, whether you do a little or a lot, you can. And 2 is you can go at your own pace. And 3 is you are acceptable as you are. 3 is as long as you are kind, you are in. And that just builds a team culture of love, acceptance, and unconditional love. And then the 3 success ingredients, this is who we're looking for. We're going to love everyone, but we are going to look to pour ourselves into and work with people who want to move forward. And the 3 success ingredients are people who are teachable and coachable, people who have a burning desire, and people who are willing to show up and do the activity. And the last thing she shared about, which we kind of showed how to do on Saturday at the park, is give yourself permission to have fun. You, Nikki.
And I hope you guys are checking the Heat Facebook pages and groups for the insanity that we got to experience on Saturday between gutty sack races and big men panties. I won't even tell you what it looks like. You got to look and see what we had to do. It was hilarious. And thank you so much for that share. You know, somebody today I spoke to about conference who had been their first conference, and I said, tell me, actually it was Susie, I think it was Susie, who said, I love this. She said, it wasn't just inspiring, it was affirming things that I thought. And it's interesting because when Jill talked about being kind, there were only 2 things that I've ever wanted for my girls. I want, like, you know, if you could put them on a path, the only 2 things I've ever said that was important to me is that they be kind and they be happy. And so I felt really affirmed by her. It was really cool. So we are going to move on to Tyra. I'm going to have to find you, Tyra. Oh my gosh, stay right where you are. Where are you? So Tyra, if you want to, where? No. Let's see. I'm looking for you, Tyra. There you are. Yes. All right. Yay. So Tyra, what are you going to share your big takeaways and how are you going to implement them?
Well, I just have to say is that this conference was really outstanding. I know we always say this, but it was one of the best conferences. I mean, it was just full from the moment you walked in the door. And I just have to say, Nikki, and you all know this, is that we get to see people and touch people that we don't normally get to touch. These like-minded, fun people. And so it's always a big reunion. So if you didn't get to a conference, do come. It was just awesome. But one of the things that was shared from the stage from Gretchen Comstock, who talked about our family, healthy starts for families. I still want to say children's health study, but anyway, healthy starts for families. And, you know, even as a seasoned NMD myself, just hearing this again got me excited. Sometimes the things that we're so used to doing, we may take for granted. But this program has been able to touch over 1.5 million families since its conception, and it is one of our strongest retention tools. And what Gretchen was sharing, some of the ways that she shares it, and I just want to share some of her things. I know we can post these, and I think I saw someone post it, but I had written them down also. But when sharing with the prospects, here's what she says. She says, I work with a company that is conducting the largest population study ever done on children and nutrition. And we are looking for families who are open to learning how to take their nutrition to the next level. I thought that sounded really good. And then when you're enrolling someone, I really like this too, because it is a huge commitment on their part and our part. She says, we ask that you and your child make a 1-year commitment to Juice Plus because this is when we see the best results. I'm making a personal donation in your name for the success of your participation and will be eager to hear your positive feedback. How does that sound to you? And then also when sharing with the Raving Fan, she says, thank you for being such a loyal customer. Your participation in the Healthy Starts program is helping our mission to inspire healthy living. And my team and I, we're on a goal to enroll 25 more families by the end of May. And would you be open to helping us gather more forward-thinking families like yourself?
Good
So
stuff.
I love the verbiage there, and I'm going to start implementing that myself. But also then after Gretchen Comstock spoke, she also talked about to help us with sharing this even more. I mean, this is an incredible program. We know that the children get it for free for 4 years, and the family totally gets involved. But Meredith Martin says, let's share it with everyone. And one way to incentivize our participants, starting June 1st through July 31st, Juice Plus will run a contest on social media, and the grand prize will be an all-paid expense trip to guess where?
Disneyland!
Disney, somewhere in the US, one of the Disney parks in the USA for a family of 4. And anyone who starts on the program and uses the hashtag Healthy Starts will be entered into this contest. And so we have these 60 days coming up where I think we'll be seeing this all over. Let's get the word out. We've only touched 1.5 million. There's lots of people out there that can take part in this amazing program. So I don't know, just got me just excited again about something that we have that really is incredible.
This company really knows how to keeping us excited, right? They just keep presenting one thing after another that keeps getting better, including conference. For those of you, Michelle Ogluski did post those 3 quotes on the HEAT Team Facebook group, so they are there. You can take them and write them down, put them on a little index card, put them by your phone when you're on calling people. You can have them right in front of you. So thank you for covering that, Tyra. That was super. So we are now going to move on to Michelle Grensing, and I see you. So that's going to be easy. And I know you just want to share a little bit from the NMD speeches.
Yeah, again, conference, it's always great. I think they always add a new level of current. And so I'm always touched by the NMD stories. I know all of you guys are too. There's something about their stories that just connect my heart. And so Lori King, she was a new national marketing director from Australia. She worked in Child Protective Services full-time. She said she left the house at 6 a.m. and she got home at 7 p.m. But her questions were this: is this how I want to live? Is this the best that I can be? And for me, that really hit, this conference to Sacramento, I've been, it's going on almost 12 years. It was one of the most difficult treks to get to conference. And I'm so glad that I did. I got to be so blessed in so many ways. Jill Herman talked about having fun. Got to run a 5K at conference. Y'all, that was new. That was really amazing. And it gave back to our Juice Plus Children's Foundation, which Tyra just talked about that. So, running a 5K in the sunshine under palm trees. Our 500 strong, it gets, it just always amazes me. I danced with a green wig, but I was really touched by hearing Nikki Cotton's daughter, who I've heard about. She's mentioned already her kids, 2 things she wants for her kids. And here her daughter stands up and shares. It was very profound. So I thought that was really great. Whenever, even though it was a difficult trek, I showed up, and 2 of my favorite people in this world, we had so much fun. We did facials in our room. We drank champagne. We laughed a lot. We cried a lot. So, I know sometimes things can be difficult. When you listen to these NMD stories, their stories are not easy. There are decisions that they've made. There's been connection to their heart. And on Thursday night, now they bring in entertainers. Rachel Platten. You guys maybe know her from the fight song. People play that at conference all the time. This is my fight song. Bring back my life song. It's so fun and upbeat. But here's what really captivated me with her. She was so authentic. Yes, she sang, but she spoke a lot in between. And she talked about life was heavy. And she woke up at night with this loneliness. And she woke up and she used her vehicle to go and write a song. And the name of that song is Grace. And I encourage you guys to go hear it and like play flight song too, so that you have a mix of both. But you know, we get this head trash like Jill Herman talks about, and life can be heavy. But what wakes us up at night? You know, we have this incredible vehicle. So back to Lori King. She also had a lot of, she faced some loss in her life. And this is pretty heavy, but it's also very poignant. She said this: let death be your perspective. Look, everybody's going to die, but not everybody's going to live. And I thought, wow. And then another new NMD, Jessica Strauss, she's the youngest NMD in Australia. She was addicted to drugs, you know, but this community found her. And she said, just because you don't start fast does not mean that you won't go far. Who can relate to that? I love that. So showing up, I took that. You know, I'm so glad that I was able to show up. It was a little bit different this time than it had been. But, you know, you show up and the explosions do happen. They can, that's part of the fight song. And grace is something that we need when our faith is low. We need a little bit of grace, a little bit more grace. And we need to remember that in this mission and with people and with our team. We can also, again, give people grace. And you know what? I just think that that's incredible. And our company, they portray all of these attributes with us and keep leveling up, and leveling up.
I'm on mute. Michelle, thanks so much for sharing some of your golden nuggets. And hopefully, you know, it's so different to hear one at a time for us talking when you're in the room with 8,000 people and the excitement in the room and you can feel your heart beating next to somebody else's heart beating. It's really amazing. So Melissa, we've got just a few minutes left between you and Leonora, and I think, Melissa, you're going to close it up for a second. So Melissa, I'm going to find you and you're going to share a little bit about why I don't see Melissa on here.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Okay?
I can hear you.
You can start and we'll find
you know what? I'll find your picture. It's in alphabetical order, and I'm not seeing your name. Oh, there you are. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna.
Okay.
Just start talking. I'll find you.
All right. Sounds good. Well, the biggest thing that hit me from this conference was really seeing the convergence between corporate and the field, and that for me felt so healthy and so good. I felt like there was a lot of integration. And I was just mentioning to Lisa earlier today, you know, I'd never seen a closeout where we had both corporate officials and field personnel come together. But I thought that was such a strong message to send to all of us, because they're doing so much behind the scenes, you guys, that we don't really know unless we're talking to them and really up and aware. But one of the things that Paolo shared that struck me, just coming from the high tech world, was that we've spent over $35 million on investing in a brand new infrastructure. And that is to set us up for a global expansion. So there's so much coming to us. And I just wanted to start with that because I think it's important that everybody know the commitment level from the company for us in the next 50 years of growth and what's coming. Ashley Hudson was the one that I was going to speak mostly about. And she really struck me. I thought that was maybe the most powerful training. They were so good this time. I mean, there were so many. I think it was the best conference. So I've got some nuggets from her. But one of the things that I loved that she said, and these are really a lot of one-liners, but kind of talk how they influence me. But if you focus on the people, the paycheck will come. And that really is, you know, gets to the heart of the servant-hearted nature of what we do. And I love that so much because I feel like everyone should carry that around in their pocket. She also talked about, you know, intentions and how people can feel your intentions. So when you come up to them with your energy, if your intention is about getting an order, they're going to feel that. But if your intention is about serving them, then, you know, and really helping them solve a problem, then you become a resource for them. And that was really special. I love that she said the best verbiage is yours. You know, I know in the beginning it can be challenging when we're trying to figure out what to say to people. And for, you know, some people, they need a little bit of training wheels in this area. And there's a lot of resources that can help and support that. But in the end, when you own it and it becomes yours, that heart gets to come through the language that you share with people. And I thought that was really special. She also talked about, like, when comparison begins, contentment ends, and that we really have to be the person that we want to be that we want to attract to our business, which, you know, we talk about that a lot, the personal growth component, but think about it in that way. Like, are you living, walking, breathing the type of right now, the type of individual that you want to attract to your team, right? I mean, it got me really thinking about that. And like, what are the things that I portray out to other people? What do they see when I, you know, flit in and flit out of, you know, pick up and drop off? Like, do they see me as this hot mess on the phone all the time? Or do they see me as this happy, you know, free person, right? So, you know, really being conscious of that, I think, is important. And I love what she said about the bigger the dream, the more important the team. And a lot of people on this team have big dreams. And, you know, there's never been a better time with the Come Join Us incentive and everything else that we have in place to really expand and recruit and bring new people in to a system and get them going. But if your dreams are big, this is the time to do it. This is the time to bring them in and get started with all of that. So I think that's critically important. And the biggest thing, you know, my biggest takeaway from what she said was just that if we don't share, you guys, we are legitimately and literally hurting people. You know, we have something that goes in and protects their DNA. We have something that goes in and protects and builds their finances. We have something that gives people time freedom with their family and health. And, you know, when we talk to people on the phone in three-way call situations, you know, all day long, we talk to them a lot about, you know, what Juice Plus comes into the life of somebody. The goal is to give them more fuller, happier days ahead. You know, we have the gifts to give people that, and why not, you know, take this opportunity to help them enrich their lives. So we legitimately are hurting people by not sharing with them. And I just thought that that was really powerful. It really called on a conviction inside of my heart to step up and be more bold. And then the last thing I'll just say is that I love what she said, and she was very emotional when she said this, but she said, I was made to do hard things, big things with love, you know, and there's going to be challenges as we go through the development, because it's a personal development, you know, process as we grow through this compensation plan and beyond. And, you know, she just said, in the end, it's the right thing to do. Like, what we're doing is the right thing to do. So we get to help people. And I just, all of the things that she was saying really struck with me, with my heart, because I feel like, you know, if we go out there, and Wendy Campbell always says this, if the longest journey is from your head to your heart, if we can really step into that, then we're doing all the right things. And I think that now is just really a good time and a call to action. So that's really what I took away from her.
Good job.
Hang on, I'm going to spotlight Leonora so we can have her there. I found her right away. And Melissa, great job. And, you know, there was so much passion from that one gal. And she's, by the way, she is on our Heat YouTube station. You can look her. She did a great training for us like 6 months ago. She was unbelievable then, and she just keeps getting better like the rest of us, right? So, Leonora, I know that your heart is with everything, including 500 Strong. Maybe you can share a little bit about that piece for all of us. And, you know, we're getting close to 6:30, but let's not worry if we go 2 or 3 minutes over. We're fine. So don't feel like you have to do that.
And to do it super quickly, I was thinking that when Lisa shared about Keith Abraham's statement, is it what's your impossible? The line that caught me the most was, is it impossible or is it just difficult? Because it's really important not to let go of things just because we think it's difficult, because very few things are impossible. I just wanted to say, before I mention about 500 Strong, how proud I was of our representation on stage at the Juice Plus conference. Johnny and Beverly Grandison did a fabulous training on the Tower Gardens, and Alexis Busselman, our newest QNMD, it was on a panel of people who are growing their business fast and sharing her, you know, what she's been doing. So it was just really great to see our team so highlighted. And of course, in 500 Strong, we highlight all the amazing women and their accomplishments in supporting other amazing women. And I wanted to just share with you, I thought it was pretty amazing. In fact, I got goosebumps today when Stephanie called me, because with her team's contribution, not everybody was prepared to give at the event. Guess what the amount was that the 500 Strong came up with to the penny?
500?
$500. And I haven't given yet, and I know there's some other people who probably want to give, but I was just like, oh my gosh, $500. So I just wanted to share that we have already loaned to women in 6 different countries, helping women who are doing farming, transporting water to local villages, getting an education. They're paying them back. I think the lease that we've been paid back in the last 6 months was about 20%, but all the way up to 50%. So I'm just really excited that we have a part in helping women who don't have this opportunity that we have, and just so pleased with everybody that has shown up. I was going to just tell you, on the Facebook page, on the 500 Strong Facebook page, you can actually create an account of your own if you're ever in the position to give $25 or more. And I gave the link that allows you to be part of our 500 Strong group. But if anybody that wanted to participate didn't get to, you can also Venmo me, as long as you put 500 Strong Kiva account, and I'll add that to my gift when I make the transfer to the Kiva from all the cash that came in. So thanks to everybody who participated, really appreciate it. And what about Saturday? We had such a fun time. Yeah. I can't believe they asked the most fun challenge person on the planet to be part of that, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. Love to hear everybody's feedback on that, maybe on the Facebook page.
Oh, it would be fun on the Facebook page for people to make any kind of comments about conference, any verbiage, anything that you came up with. That's a great place to share. And for those of you that don't know, the 500 Strong has a mission statement, is to empower women around the world to live lives of passion, purpose, and possibility. And here we are getting to do that in places where Juice Plus does not have a presence, but we have a presence in helping all of those women. So it really is so part of what we do. And I love that Leonora discovered it and sorted it out and sought it out for us and brought it to the 500 Strong, because it gives us another opportunity to really claim a way to create more for women. So was that it, Leonora? Did I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Great. So we are going to close this up in just a minute or two. I'm going to turn it over to Chris. And there you go, Chris. You take it away and get her done.
Well, fantastic conference, and you all did a great job of bringing the energy here tonight. I really don't have much to add. I love that Melissa made a really good clarity about the timing is now. And again, it's never been easier, never been more fun, never been more important to share what we have. And, you know, from the stories and stories after story that changed lives through our product, and then the stories from the NMDs that what they've changed through their challenges and their financial shifting, what's become available for them. Again, the best conference ever, as usual. And even that Rachel Platten, I mean, that blew my mind. I thought, okay, we have a rock and roll star, that'll be kind of new. But her energy was like she was part of our team already. And I can really see the influence of the Brene Brown program, because I remember that, 30 years almost now, when the speakers and the trainers that brought heart were the ones that stood out. No, not anymore, because they all bring in heart. And so it's just a really good description and a picture of who we are. So I'm going to end with what I thought was the most powerful statement that somebody made. And I'm going to paraphrase just enough to make it my own, which is, it's like we're all in a sports car, we're all in a race car, and we have an open highway, and all we got to do is step on the gas. It's all in place, so drive it like you stole it. Have a good night.
All right, everybody. Woohoo! I've unmuted everybody.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank
you.
Great. What about the TV broadcast?
Have a good night. Great call, everybody.
Woo!
Enjoyed it.
Thank
you. I'm from Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, have a good night.